Hello everybody, Ryan here from Guitar Teacher Tools with another AI video. Edcafe had reached out to me and asked if I would do a video in return for unlocking the premium version for me so that I could explore all the tools and see what it is all about and see if I would enjoy that and make a video for them. So here we go, and I appreciate them reaching out and giving me this opportunity. I have kind of put off AI for a while because being a guitar teacher, I haven't really needed it because honestly we have music and we play music all day, most of the day. One thing I have been using it for recently and exploring more is creating subplans if I'm gone, and almost impossible to have guitar teachers come in, and to be honest, I don't really like having that without the supervision. So I usually have to have some type of alternative activity for them. So as anybody knows, creating lesson plans is a pain in the butt to have everything ready to go. So I'm always curious about how AI can help me with that. So what I decided to do is create 3 different products here, all from the same source. So this source actually, let's see, I wanted to do a kind of a behind the scenes of Andre Segovia. So I went to Britannica.com, and basically what I did is I just copied this in to create new. I just did slide deck, chatbot quiz, and I'm not going to go into right now how to create stuff. I think people want to see first what you can come up with, and then we can go into how to create those things. But it's all from this same Britannica website. I use the same link for each one, and that's also what I'm curious about, is how AI treats in this case this same web page and gets 3 different things from it. So I did go ahead and create all that, and again, I'm not going to go into that today. I just want to show you what I ended up with. So we obviously wanted to start out with a lesson plan. So need to be in my library first. So let's take a look at the lesson plan here. So it obviously gives me the source of where I went to. And again, my main concern was obviously with AI, it's not necessarily 100% perfect. There may be things in there I don't want to do or I need to tweak around a little bit. And so it's great that you can edit it. And then obviously we can now, the great thing is we can export it. I exported it to Google Docs. We'll take a look at that in a minute. That's probably way easier to edit there, to be honest. And then we can obviously share it from here. And these are some features I'll probably go into later, but for now, let's just look at the content that we got created. So creates a title. We've got the learning objectives. It gives us some vocabulary, some essential questions. The thing I like about this is it automatically gave us some resources here to look at. It's got found some YouTube videos, and even more importantly to me, this is great. It automatically had PDF worksheets, and this took about 5 minutes, as we'll see in next successive videos. How fast this really went from here. So we've got the lesson procedures, direct instructions, some guided practice. And again, I would look through this a little bit more, maybe tweak it around. Again, if this is going to be for a sub mostly, I would probably have to word it a little bit for subs, and maybe the different activities aren't going to work. And then the closing. And then we've got extensions, we've got more, we've got assessments, reflections, and possible homework from there. So it's pretty well organized, as what you would expect. And then again, I would take my time and go through this. But again, the idea is that I get the foundation laid out, and then I can, again, edit and tweak as I feel like I need to from there. But the thing I'm impressed with most with this is I've got some resources already. And I'm assuming if I dove deeper into there, that I don't know how much, like, does this worksheet go from the video or does it go from the online resource and things like that? Have to go a little bit more detail and see which video to do to pair it up with which worksheet. And again, if I was doing this for sub, give them very specific instructions for that. So it says, and this might be a little harder for a sub too, because they might need to know the content. Again, this was not based on a sub. It was a lesson plan, assuming that the teacher would teach this as well. So again, I might have to do a little bit more editing than I would if I was doing this myself. But again, it's a very good start, and the links and everything is there for that. So that's the lesson plan. So then my idea is then we have a slideshow. So let's go to the library, and probably, again, because it didn't know that I did one or the other, I actually did the slideshow first. it would not know that I had created a slideshow, so I could then go back to that lesson plan and provide the slideshow. Once again, I was able to edit that, or excuse me, send this off to Google Slides, and then obviously I can edit it here or from Google Slides. Now, again, this took about 5 minutes or less to do, and I could add a prompt. The only prompt I added is make this accessible for high school students. Again, I'm with AI. I'm not really, my feeling is like if I have to write 1,000 prompts to get what I want, I might as well do it myself. So I'm kind of just like, I just want to do the least work with this and get a framework and go from there. I know it could probably be a little bit more specific. So obviously that picture's not fantastic. I don't even know if that's Segovia, to be honest. I think it is. But I would definitely edit out that picture, but it's got a good start on here. So if we go through some of the slides, so I chose kind of this comic background, which is good because you'll see in a minute, this does export to Google Docs with the same. And as we all know, Google Slides doesn't have the most fantastic of slides presentation. So a lot of times I'm using other slide decks from other places and editing those. But again, we've got pretty good outline from what I've seen with this. And again, these pictures are very generic. I would probably go through and try and find a little bit more specific. Maybe not so much these. Again, that's just some general concert pictures, general picture here. And so I might go through and find some actual Segovia pictures. This is a really old guitar. Talking about it is talking about history, so it's showing that did a good job there. Talking about transcribing music. I'm sure this is, I have no idea what this is. I can't even read it, but I'm sure this is just some generic transcription. It might be from Bach or something as well. Okay, contemporary composers. So it compiled a list of composers, and again, all this information is good. I would just make sure that I go through it and maybe compare it with the article here and see if there's anything or add anything that I feel I need to from there. I think that's Villalobos himself, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. But again, this song has nothing to do with Segovia, just a random song. But again, I'm sure in Google Slides, I could go, there we go. There's a Segovia there. I've always thought that's a cheesy picture, but there we go. So I'm not sure exactly if this is part of Segovia's hometown or where he grew up in Spain, or just a general picture. Obviously, this is just, again, the pictures are generic, which again, we can't expect too much to find actual pictures to match exactly with these. And that's the only thing I might do is just match up the pictures. I might change the font. Obviously, I love animation, so I'd go through and make sure that these are all animated. Lute versus guitar. So again, overall, it's a good start. It's a good outline. Some of the pictures are not too bad. There's actually Segovia there. But I do appreciate, again, going through this. You can see that this has got the watermarks on it. It's not necessarily the best. Again, Stuck With You, some random piece of music. And another guy. There's Segovia again, Impact and Recognition. That looks like one of his programs for a concert, so it's not necessarily the worst picture. Again, some more random dudes. Museums and tributes. So we got some of this here. So again, 25 slides, less than a few minutes, gives me a good start as well. All right, so to finish off then, of course, then what I would probably do, like most lessons, we have some type of assessment. So again, I just use the same website for all three of these because that was mostly trying to, if I was doing a lesson plan, I would try and have all three of these line up. And so we have, again, questions, explanations. I thought that was kind of a new, cool little thing here that not only is it asking a question, what the answer, but it gives a little bit of explanation of that answer. That's kind of nice. I now tweak around with this. I don't know quite how this works with assigning. Of course, what I did is I just put it into a Google form for myself because that's what my school uses and that's what I'm most used with. But again, the fact that you can edit here, I'd be interested to see how well this probably just gives the kids a link that I could then put into Canvas, and then I could see the responses from here. But honestly, if I could do it from Google Forms, for me, that's again something I'm familiar with going from there. But I do kind of like this explanation that we get from here. And again, I just go through and, some of the AI I've done with quizzes, I've literally seen that they choose like B, like for 99% of the answers. So this is good that it's a good round all over the place. And again, I do like this part of giving the explanation. I don't know if the kids will see that. Again, that's something I can explore a little bit later. But today's video is mostly just to show you what is available. And if this is something you do want to explore further, I think that's better to show you first before you start messing around with it. Is something you even want to do from there. So I can edit it from here, and again, I would just make sure that everything lines up with the content and make sure everything is good from there. Okay, so let's really quickly to close out today. Let's just see. So all I did is I just hit export and almost immediately just asked the account that I wanted to do. So I just matched it up with my account here. So again, just a quick preview here. So obviously we're not going to get the explanation in here. I would probably need to go into here to settings, make this a quiz. It already did. I could change the point value if I wanted to. It's already set at 20 points. I could change the point value, but obviously I can go in and edit it, and the answer key is already done. So just like, again, I'm very comfortable with this. So for me, that's quite easy to do with that. And then we have the Google Doc version. Again, nothing different here. All the links are still there. The one thing that it did do, changed, is we don't have thumbnails for the YouTube videos. Not a big deal, but we still have the links for them. And again, I can go through and change that as needed. And then again, the slideshow, I would definitely be going through and mostly changing the pictures, but I would go in here and then we would do our animate. Oops, I'd go in and animate this and add animation to my paragraph, so we get all that taken care of and things like that. So good start. And again, that's mostly what I'm looking for with AI, is to get the foundation going, less work for me, not doing it completely from scratch. And then a lot of times it's like the only thing I'd be concerned is how much editing I have to do, how correct is all this, and that's something I would explore in future videos, like how much of this do I need to change. And again, because I'm doing it as a sub plan, probably more than anything, I'd probably change it a little bit more than I would normally if I was doing this myself. I might then from here create a vocab flashcards or something. We might go a little bit from there, do a little bit of tweaking from there. But again, so far pretty impressive, mostly right now with the speed that it took to do this. Like I said, each one of these, and again, being able to use the same resource from there and get some content going that I can easily then translate and transcribe and move around and edit to my needs and go from there. So I hope this is helpful. And once again, thanks for Edcafe for reaching out and providing me with this unlocked version of this so I can play around with this more. And on the next one, I'll show you how I created some of these and go from there. So we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.